Guys, this is one of the strongest card tricks that you can do. It's a reputation maker. It's going to make you look like an expert in sleight of hand with the least amount of effort possible. It is super easy to do. So here's the idea. Cards are shuffled up and you explain to the spectators that you're going to show them 3 levels of sleight of hand: beginner, intermediate and advanced. So to kick off, you just ask them to cut the cards wherever they want and turn them face up. So they cut random amount face up, and you say the cards that you cut to, these two, we're going to get back to these in a little bit. We're going to put them right there for now. They'll stay in full view. But for now, you get 3 cards picked. Now, just so it's easy for you guys to follow, let's imagine that they reach into the deck and they choose 3 cards. But so you guys can follow, we'll just use the ace through 3 of diamonds. But these are 3 random selections. Now, each selection is lost in the middle of the deck, so we're going to just place a few cards. In fact, the spectator can actually cut a random amount if they want. They can cut wherever they want. So we end up with these 3 packets of cards, and each of the selections is going to be lost into these packets. So the first one is lost, like so. And the spectator can push this all the way inside, like so. So it genuinely is lost. It really is in there. The second selection, which in our case is the 2 of diamonds, that's going to go inside. And again, these are put on top and the spectator can push this in. So it all looks very, very fair and honest. And then finally, remember the spectator has cut these packets. The third selection is going to go on top of this packet and it is genuinely lost, like so. That is very, very fair and honest. 3 selections now lost in the deck. So I'm going to find each selection using 3 levels of sleight of hand: beginner, intermediate and advanced. So the first one is to use a key card. In other words, if I snap my fingers over the deck like now, 1 card would turn face up. And that is a 7. Now, that isn't one of the selections, but it is actually the key, hence the name key card, to finding the first selection. So this is a 7. If we count down 7 cards, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exactly at the 7th position, we get the first selection, the ace of diamonds. But we'll move on to the second level of sleight of hand, that's intermediate level, which is a technique known as the future reverse. Just by sense of touch alone, I'd be able to sense where the selection is, to cause it to reverse using sleight of hand. And now the only card face up is the second selection, that's the 2 of diamonds. But the third technique, and this is the advanced technique, is more advanced more than anything else. Now, before we started, you picked 2 cards, okay, and these are going to generate a random number. So whatever these digits are, we're going to use them as a number. So you've got a 10 and a 1, so that's 11, right? 11. So right now, it's my job to try and find your card. And I just want to point out, it's not near the top, or it shouldn't be near the top, and it shouldn't be near the bottom. It should be genuinely lost somewhere in the middle of the pack. So my job is to try and find the card, and then not only find it, but to track its position and also shuffle its position to the 11th position. This is the most advanced technique of all. So right now, the card should be at the position 11. And just by sense of touch alone, through years of practice and self-denial, I should be able to just take the deck like this and cut exactly 10 cards. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, making this the 11th and this the final selection, the 3 of diamonds, and you look like an absolute expert. Right, let's get into this one. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So this is probably one of my favorite tricks on the channel because you get so much mileage out of hardly any technique whatsoever. This is so easy. So if you like the trick, hit the like button, and also if you're not subscribed, don't forget to subscribe because we do new tricks like this every single week. You don't want to miss out. Now recently I just did something that I've never done before. I did a live stream. So a few weeks ago, I did this. We had over 100 people sign up. We hung out, we spoke about magic. I got to meet a bunch of you guys in real time, and it was just the best event. If you were there, thank you. Because it was so popular, I'm gonna do another one. So we're gonna do it on the 11th of May. If you've not been part of the last one, if you wanna check out this one, it's awesome. We get to hang out, we speak about magic. I teach for about 90 minutes some of my top tier tricks. So I don't teach these tricks on my YouTube channel. I don't teach them in any of my courses. In fact, the only way to learn these tricks is to come along and be part of that live stream. We also do a Q&A. You can ask me whatever you want. You can learn tips and tricks about how to practice, how to get better, how to improve your confidence, and it's an amazing time. So if you want to take part in that, it's going to be on the 11th of May. I'm going to link it on the screen. I'll link it down in the description below. Follow it, sign up, and I'd love to hang out with you on the 11th of May. Don't forget, if you want to stay up to date on everything that I'm doing, live streams or any discounts on any of my courses, you can sign up to the newsletter. It's completely free and you get tips and tricks on how to be a better magician every single month. But right now, we're going to crack on with the explanation for this one. This is so cool. I know you're going to love this one, guys. Grab a deck of cards. Let's do it. All right, guys, let's get into the explanation for this one. So by the way, it was suggested in an earlier video that I shoot my tutorials from over the shoulder because maybe it'll be a little bit easier to learn that way. So we're going to try it on this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If this helps you, if this is better for you, then we'll do them like this from now on. So this trick, you need a very, very small setup. You need a 7 on the bottom of the deck like this. And on the top of the deck, you need a 10 and an ace. Because this is going to be your 11 at the end of the trick, because that's always 11, ace and a 10 on top, and a 7 on the bottom. Now, I'll point out again, when you do the trick and you have 3 cards picked, these are 3 random cards. However, just for the purposes of explanation, I've removed the ace, 2, and 3, and we'll treat them as the selections, okay? So for now, ace, 2, and 3 are out. And you can start off by giving the cards a shuffle. Now, if you can riffle shuffle, it's very simple to maintain these cards on the top and the bottom of the deck. If you can riffle shuffle, all you're going to do is, this is the bottom half, like so. You just make sure that some cards fall from the bottom first. This will be a 7. Then you shuffle together and just make sure you go faster with your left hand. So on the top now is all of these cards that are left. And you can shuffle, and that way that'll leave the ace and the 10 on top and the 7 on the bottom. You don't need to do this, but if you want to give the cards a little mix, this is how you do it. Just release first, that'll keep you 7 on the bottom, and then go faster with this half, which means that you're going to end with cards on the top here. Bridge it up, and you've got your ace and 10 on the top still, and your 7 on the bottom. Like I say, it's not necessary, but it's a nice little touch. What you're going to do is you're going to force the number 11 on the spectator. This is an absolutely beautiful force. I love this. You're just going to ask the spectator to reach over and cut anywhere they want. So they can cut anywhere they want, and to turn that group of cards face up. So they will turn them face up like that. All you do now is your hand's going to turn face down, and it's going to spread the cards out like so. Okay, and you say, well, here's where you cut. And this is such a beautiful force, because these 2 face down cards now, so where they cut, where the cards are back to back, you take these 2 cards, and these will be your force cards, your ace and your 10. I just think that it's such a natural force. I love it. So you're going to take those, you don't show them to the spectator, you just take them out and you put them there and you say, okay, we'll get back to those in a little bit. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to reverse the 7 on the bottom of the deck. It's very, very simple to do. Take all these face down cards and put them on the face up cards like this. Gather everything together. And now we're going to use a little technique called a finger break. Super easy to do, guys. All you're going to do is you're going to spread through until you get to that 7, so where the cards are face to face. Yeah. Now you're going to take a break underneath the 7. So all I'm going to do is I push it off like this and I pull it back, and just with the flesh of my little finger, I've got a break. Now you can't see this from the front. It's just from the back, and it's just the flesh of your finger just having a little break there. So you're doing this like so. You've separated the cards there. You put them back, which now, when you put them back, means that you'll now have a break above all of the face down cards and the face up 7. The break's below that, like that. So now you've got the situation like this. So here's your 7, all your face down cards on top. And all we're going to do, guys, is we're going to cut here, cut at the break here, and then these cards that were underneath the break, we're going to flip over on top. Okay. And all that's done is, it looks like you've just turned the cards face down again, but what you've actually done is all the cards are face down now, apart from the 7, which is now face up on the bottom. So it's a really nice way to do that. And you are ready to go into the trick. So we're going to apparently lose the selections in the deck. And it's a really, really nice procedure. It looks very, very fair. First of all, you're going to just spread off 9 cards. Okay, this should seem like a random amount. You don't want to seem like you're counting. So all you want to do is I just push off a group of 3, a group of 3, a group of 3, and a group of 3. All right. Good luck using an old deck of cards for this, because it'll probably end up with something like that, and you'll end up with a massive clump. So, so use a reasonably good condition deck of cards. But 3, 3, 3 should just look random, and you throw them behind the ace, okay, or the first selection. Then, what's really nice here is you can get the spectator to cut a group of cards. Just say cut the cards wherever you want, and so they'll cut like this. And this group of cards you're going to put behind the 3. And then it just leaves you with this remaining packet of cards. This is the one with the 7 on the bottom, like that. And you just put those behind the 2. All right. So far so good. You're now going to apparently lose the selections while positioning them for the big reveals at the end. This is such a nice sequence. So pick up the cards behind the ace. You're going to spread them out like this. And it should seem like you put this in a random position. But what you're actually going to do, guys, is you're going to take the ace and you're going to put it 4th from the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it should seem random, but just put it 4th from the bottom, like so. Square that up, leave it sticking out, and you can actually get the spectator to push this. So now you can show the card. And I like to do a little dribble. It shows you've got absolutely no control. Okay. If you're dribbling during a trick, it shows you've got no control. Then you're going to do the same with the 2. You're going to do a sneaky move here. So as you pick the 2 up and show it to the spectator, with this hand, what you're going to do is you're going to buckle these cards. So in other words, you're just going to give them a good squeeze like that, and it'll put in like a little bend in the card. I don't know whether this is concave or convex. Let me know in the comments. But you do a little bend like so. And the way that you misdirect is as you pick this card up to show it to everyone, and everyone's looking at this card, that's when you do the bend, okay? And everyone's looking at this card, so they're not going to see it. Okay, that's going to be important later when you cut exactly 11 cards. That's how you do it. So this card is now placed on top, the 2. This you got to be careful with. When you put these cards up, don't expose that 7 on the bottom. Okay, so you got to keep them square. Pick these cards up as a square unit and just put them on top of everything. And again, you can get the spectator to then push these cards in like so. So it all looks very fair. And then finally, you've just got your 3. Now the 3, what you're going to do with these is, this is here like so, what you're going to do is just turn it face down onto the packet on the table, and then these go on top. Okay, and then very, very fairly, you can square everything up like so. And it really does look very, very fair and honest. And you've got a face-up card near the top like this. What I like to do though, is if you just want to make it look really casual, I just pick up a few cards from the top, anywhere above where you know the face-up card is, and I just dribble them like so. So again, it looks like you've got no control. So now you're going to explain 3 levels of sleight of hand. First one is the key card. This is already set, guys. All you need to do is snap your fingers like so. Spread the cards up like so. I think I've gone a bit overboard with the bend just to show you. But when you do the bend, don't do it as hard as I did. I'm exaggerating so I can teach you guys. Yeah, but that's what happens if you do it too much. And you have crazy air conditioning in the cabin. So we end up with a 7. You take all the cards above the 7 to the right, like so. Turn them face up. Okay. Then we're going to use this finger break technique that we used before. So pick up all of these cards like so. And you're going to show the 7. And as you show the 7, over here, you're going to get a finger break below this face down card. So push it off, pull it back, shove the flesh of your little finger in there like that. And then again, it shouldn't be visible from the front, only from the back. It's just your flesh. It's not your whole finger. It's not like this. Just the flesh. And then this is going to go back on top, which means you've now got a break above these 2 cards. So what you're going to do, guys, is you're going to pick these up as one card and put it onto this pile here. And the easiest way to do it is this. So just from the top, and you put it over here like that. A little bit of practice, you'll get that. You say that's a key card. It's 7. We count down 7 cards. That's 1, and you deal them face up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th card, turn it over, first selection, boom. Awesome reaction, right, put that down. Then all of these cards turn face up and put these on top, like that. You explain the second level of sleight of hand is a future reverse, is actually a move. Ed Marlowe's future reverse, beautiful reversal. But fortunately for you, you don't have to learn it because it's already done. So I make like a kind of move, okay, and it looks like super slick, and then you just spread the cards out. And then you've got the 2 here, all right? So you get second thing, looks like you're an expert because they didn't see the move because there wasn't one. And then again, you're going to separate the cards like so. This is important. Separate the cards at the 2 because you want to break here, and you show this as number 2. And then all of these cards here that were underneath the 2, and take these and put these on top, like so. And now you draw attention to the 2 cards over here. So remember, you say, oh, this was, you cut to these randomly at the start, and this was the force, remember? So you show these now, and you say, oh, look, you cut to a 10 and a 1. That's 11, all right? So that's a random number. So it's my job now to find the card and position it in 11. Now, you can spread the top couple of cards here, guys, and you can show these and say, look, it's important. You see I've not controlled the card, it shouldn't be near the top. And again, you can turn the cards over and show the bottom cards. It's not near the bottom, it's somewhere in the middle. And you're going to do here a really, really nice false cut. If you just follow along with me, cut half the cards. I just want to make sure, because this top section you don't want to disturb it, so cut about half the cards like this and put them to your left. Then you can shuffle these, right? And then cut about half of these again to the middle, and then shuffle these again and put these over here. Okay, so really nice technique. I first saw Ben Earl do this. It's a beautiful technique. And you explain that you're tracking the card, and then you're going to position it at 11, and then just pick up the cards left to right. So this on top of this, this on top of this. And then you're all set. Because of that massive bridge that you did before, it's now possible to just reach over, and you might have to practice this a little bit, but you'll actually feel that when you reach over, you've got this like natural break in the cards. So you just reach over, you're going to cut there like that. And then that's because you put that massive bridge in the cards, you'll actually feel there's a big gap. And you just pick them up and you say you're going to cut exactly 11 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you say you cut exactly 10 cards. 10 cards there, meaning this is the 11th. You can have them reach over, turn that over. And I'm sure you'll agree, you get an awesome, awesome reputation making trick with very, very minimal sleight of hand. Literally a finger break, that's it. So if you like the trick, give me a like, give me a thumbs up. If you've got any comments or ideas, drop them down below. If you've not subscribed, don't forget to subscribe already. And if you want another trick to do after this one, check out the next one. I'll put it on the screen. Thanks a lot, guys. You've been awesome.